Procedure for checking the accessibility of PDF documents and fixing common errors Part 2. This training video is produced by the Accessibility and Policy Unit of the California Department of Social Services. A 4-step checking procedure has been established by the Accessibility and Policy Unit and should be followed to ensure PDF documents meet accessibility standards and are fully accessible to all persons. These 4 steps include a PDF full check, a document properties check, a PDF accessibility quick check guide review, and performing a spot check with a screen reader. This training video will cover steps 3 and 4. For a review of steps 1 and 2, view the procedure for checking the accessibility of PDF documents and fixing common errors Part 1 video. All of these steps are also covered in our procedure for checking the accessibility of PDF documents book, which is available from the Accessibility and Policy Unit. For the contents of PDF documents to be truly accessible to all persons, the checking procedures reviewed in both parts 1 and 2 of this video series should be followed. Step 3 is conducting a review of the document using the PDF Accessibility Quick Check Guide developed by the Accessibility and Policy Unit. This quick check guide was developed to ensure the many potential obstacles to accessibility, which are missed in Adobe's full check, are addressed with a manual check. Several of the items in quick check list have been touched on previously but are here as a reminder to check prior to distributing the PDF. The first item is ensuring your document has tags. This is the most basic element to accessibility because without tags nothing will be available to assistive technologies. It also is a reminder that you must check the document tags to ensure they are correct. We will talk about this more in a bit. Check if an appropriate title been set in the document properties. This was covered in step 2. Item 3 reminds you to ensure the correct language was set for the document, but it also reminds us to ensure that if there are any instances of a second or third language being used in the document, that its tag is marked appropriately. The main language for the example document below is English, but there are segments in the document which are in the Arabic language. You must ensure Arabic has been set in the properties of these tags. Arabic is not located in the drop-down menu, but every language is included in the ISO PDF language codes or IANA language codes found online. Simply type in the code in the language area. Arabic is represented by the letters AR. The main language for the example document below is English, but there are parts that are in the Arabic language. Ensure you set the language to Arabic in the properties of those tags. Next, ensure a sufficient heading structure exists in the document. The best way to accomplish this is by walking the tag tree. You should ensure that anything which looks like a heading visually is tagged a heading in the tag tree. An insufficient heading structure will not be identified in a full check. It will only be found by conducting a manual check of the document. While the full check may have ensured that all figures have alt text, it could not know if they actually make sense. A quick way to check all of the alt text in your document is by using the Set Alternative Text tool. Located in the Accessibility Tools menu, the Set Alternative Text tool will bring all figures into focus and show their current alt text. It is a good practice to check all the alt text to ensure it is accurate and appropriate. Any text entered in the alt text of a figure will not trigger an error in the full check, so only by doing this manual check can you guarantee the accessibility of the document. Most letterhead images are located in the header of Word documents, and so they will not be tagged in PDF documents. It is important to ensure they have tags and appropriate alt text added. The full check will tell you if hyperlinks, annotations are tagged. However, you must ensure they are keyboard activated and that if they are not meaningful enough, alt text has been added to their tag. Possessing an OBJR following the link tag is required to be keyboard activated. A quick check by hitting the Enter button on your keyboard while focused on the hyperlink will tell you if they are keyboard accessible. Additionally, if the hyperlink was not made meaningful in the base document prior to converting to a PDF format, you must add alt text to the link tag to accomplish this accessibility requirement. To add alt text, simply right-click on the link tag and enter meaningful alt text to the tag properties. Next on the quick check is ensuring the PDF has a logical reading order. Only a manual check will detect any reading order problems. We recommend relying solely on the order of the tag tree to adjust and ensure the reading order of the document. We find it to be easier to use and more reliable than the reading order menu. Start at the top of the tag tree and walk the tag tree using the down arrow key. The order of the tag tree, top to bottom, will be the reading order recognized by assistive technologies like screen readers. When selecting each tag, the corresponding content in the document should become highlighted. If nothing is highlighted, check the tag settings, right-click on tags within the tag tree and ensure highlight content is checked. Next is lists. The full check will look at the structure of lists, but it cannot tell if they are combined correctly. If hard returns had been used in the construction of a list, or if it runs over pages, there may be errors in list tag structures. If a list was split due to hard returns being used, simply move all the list item tags, LI, under one list, L, tag, then delete any empty list and empty paragraph, P, tags that will be left over. If a list spans more than one page, it may be split into separate lists in the tag tree. Accessibility standards require that the list tags be combined into one list to keep a consistent and accurate number of lists within the document. To resolve this accessibility problem, simply move all the list item tags, LI, under one list, L, tag, then delete any empty list tag this creates. While the full check gives some feedback on inappropriate table structure, a manual check is absolutely required to ensure full accessibility. Find each table tag within the document and look at the tag structure. One error not identified in the full check is split tables. Like with lists, if tables are split across consecutive tables, a separate table tag may be created on each page, meaning one table may have two or more table tags. To fix this error, simply combine all rows, TR, into one table. A screen reader will still read out the column headers for each cell, even if they appear on the previous page. The empty table tags should then be deleted from the tag tree. Next is incorrect page labels, page numbering. This is an accessibility obstacle which can only be found by conducting a manual check. The visual page numbers on a document are not what a screen reader uses to determine page location. For example, let's say your document was made up of an executive summary page, a 4-page letter, pages 1, 2, 3 and 4, and a 2-page attachment, attachment pages 1 and 2. However, if the page labels were not adjusted in the PDF, a screen reader will only hear pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. This will mean that page 1 of the attachment to a visual person is in fact page 6 to a screen reader user. Page labels must be corrected. If properly addressed, the screen reader should hear executive summary, pages 1 to 4 and attachment page 1 and 2 as shown below. Page labels are covered in Chapter 9 of our online video series. The last item on the quick check is color. When walking through the document, any colored text must meet minimum contrast ratios. Additionally, logic must be used to determine if there are any instances of color being used alone to convey meaning. The topic of color is covered in Chapter 7 of our Word Online training series. Step 4 is conducting a review of the document using a screen reader. In our checks, we use the NVDA screen reader developed by nvaccess.org. Listening to the entirety of every document with a screen reader is not necessary. However, there are certain structure elements for which it is critical to utilize a screen reader in the checking procedure to ensure accessibility. This section will focus on just two structures in a PDF document. For instruction on how to use the NVDA screen reader to test all structural elements in a PDF, please see AP Us Using NVDA to Check the Accessibility of PDF Documents. The two structures which should be tested with a screen reader are hyperlinks and tables. There are 4 elements to hyperlinks to be checked using a screen reader. These 4 are ensuring hyperlinks are keyboard activated, they are labeled, they are meaningful, and they are not split. If keyboard activated when arriving at the hyperlink either using the K or Tab keys, hit Enter to open the link. If the hyperlink is not activated, it is not keyboard activated and so it fails accessibility standards. Links may appear unlabeled for the screen reader user if the container with the associated link text is not attached to the main parent link tag, or the container may be missing altogether or misplaced. To find unlabeled links, open the screen reader's elements list, keystroke Insert plus F7 and select links. An easy fix is to ensure the container text is a child of the OBJR tag within the link tag. If moving the container, always test to ensure the link works by keyboard activation and it leads to where it should. One way to ensure each hyperlink is meaningful is to navigate with the screen reader from link to link and listen for meaningful text. A faster and easier way is to use the screen reader's elements list. Check the links radio button and see all the hyperlinks within the document. You can easily identify the ones that are not meaningful and are in need of remediation. Finally, by using the screen reader elements list, you can identify possibly split hyperlinks. Screen readers will read each part of a split hyperlink as if it was a separate link. This can be confusing to screen reader users. To fix a split hyperlink, simply add the OBJR and the text container from the second link tag into the first. Of course, after you are done, recheck the hyperlink with the screen reader to ensure it was fixed properly. Now let's use the screen reader to check tables. Using a screen reader to check table headers can help identify important accessibility issues. For example, while TH tags may be present in the tag tree for both the column and row headers, the row headers may not read correctly if the scope is not appropriately assigned within the reading order tool. Using the arrow keys, navigate through the table. Moving horizontally, you should hear the column headers announced along with the contents of the cell. Moving vertically, you should hear the row headers. This completes the PDF checking process. Remember, true accessibility cannot be assured without a thorough check. Passing the Adobe built-in full check tool or any other testing tool alone does not ensure accessibility. Ensuring the accessibility of PDF documents protects the civil rights of persons with disabilities, enables persons with disabilities to compete in the marketplace for employment, promotes economic independence for persons with disabilities, and allows members of the public to benefit from our programs and services. For more information about this topic or any of the topics in our series, contact the Accessibility and Policy Unit at accessibilitypolicyunit@dss.ca.gov.